You might remember the Scrubdaddy from when it made its success on Shark Tank years ago.
Hi Sharks, I'm Aaron Krause from Philadelphia, and I'm known as the daddy of the Scrubdaddy.
But did you know that they don't really sell that much stuff other than the sponges? They are adding in some accessories. But I think that 3D printing could probably help them out a little bit by making a whole bunch of stuff that they didn't have before. Scrubdaddy is a really awesome product. When you put it in cold water, it gets hard, and when you put it in hot water, it gets soft. And this is terribly useful for cleaners. Commercial cleaners love to use it because it's really flexible and also just adds a little bit of joy to your work. But Scrubdaddy as a business is also just very interesting because they focus so heavily on brand. This is a sponge, but since it's a sponge with a smiley face, it's so much better. Now, this is the thing though. When people buy this thing, this is not the only item that they need. They also need cleaners, and they need soaps, and they need gloves, and all kinds of other stuff to go along with the sponge when it's being used. But a lot of those accessories aren't actually available, and they're very expensive to create and experiment with. So what we did is we went ahead and designed a whole mess of other ones so that Scrubdaddy can take a look at them and see if they want to start adding these into their lineup. We designed handles, holders, and drains for this thing, but let's go ahead and start off with the most basic. Just this happy little smiley face. Now, we made this holder so that it could be mounted onto the side of the sink. It has 2 slots on the back of it all that are allowed to take suction cups in, and so that you can assemble it really easily, and then it can be produced with printing. We also added a texture to the outside so the surface finish looks amazing, and we designed it so that his little smile just peeks up over the covers when you're about to grab him out of the drain and start scrubbing on something. But you know how I mentioned about those suckers on the back end? What's really great about this is that Scrubdaddy doesn't actually have to produce it. They could just have it made on demand. And inside of Teleport, you can include suction cups like this with any part that is ever made and delivered. But we'll get back to Teleport in just a second. After that holder, we thought, okay, well that's great, but you also need a holder that's just handier. This is it's a drain, but you can end up with stuff growing in the bottom even though we put a drain hole in there. So we made another holder that is able to adhere directly to the side of your sink. And this one just takes his little face and then presses right into it. And this sort of holder is super handy because you are able to hold the sponge really reliably, and it's pretty low profile. But the downside of it is that you can knock off the sponge and then you end up losing your sponge down in the sink, and the holder doesn't really do its job very well. The one little trick that we did with this is, since we are able to create really complex geometry with 3D printing, we recessed the suction cup holes into the back of it so that it is able to press up flush to the side of the sink. This reduces kind of the overhang or the sloppiness that comes from having a suction cup sticking right out the back of a flat plate. You don't really want that very much. But then, once we had that holder, we're like, oh, well, this is interesting. This is a foundation. Whenever using a Scrubdaddy, you're always grabbing it like this and scrubbing around, which is great until you have to scrub a whole bunch of stuff. So you kind of start to want to have a handle, because my hand doesn't exactly fit this. Some other people's hands may not fit it, and you might just want more leverage on it, you know, when you're really trying to clean the barbecue. So the first off, what we did was we went ahead and just made a simple handle for it. The handle had the same face imprint as the holder, and then you're able to press the Scrubdaddy onto there and then do whatever scrubbing you want to do. The first handle we did was a big old rounded knob, but the thing we did was to make sure to flatten just the very tip of that knob so that it could be printed upside down and reliably, making sure there were no overhangs that would cause any sorts of issues. This makes sure that everything is strong and reliable and all the surface finishes are fine. But then we thought, that's nice to have the big old bulb right there, but we want something a little bit lower leverage, so we made one that was lower profile. And this one is meant to let you get a hold of it so that you can wrap around the outer edge of it all and get your fingers down where you want them to be, which is better, but now you're making the Scrubdaddy even larger, so that's not necessarily the greatest idea. But then we thought, okay, well, sometimes you just want to get a hold of it like this. The most ergonomic shape for the human hand is a fist. So we went ahead and made just a regular handle. And that regular handle, again, prints vertically, so it's really reliable, but now a person can get a hold of it and scrub down a wall if they need to. Or, again, just get really into the barbecue or the dirty pans, whatever it happens to be. And the thing I want to call out about all of these parts is that since they're designed for mass production 3D printing, I mean, we could make 3,000 to 10,000 of these things a day if we wanted to inside of our giant print farms. But our print farm's spec'd out for a few thousand machines, but they're made to be chunky. When making 3D printed parts, you want them to be chunky and thick. That is how you get reliability and therefore low cost. That is the manufacturability. This is very different from injection molding when you're trying to minimize volume. You want to make stuff thin thin and frail and weak. But with 3D printing, you can make stuff that is really beefy, that you can get a hold of, and it can still be produced reliably. Also, in the context of Scrubdaddy, this is very useful because if this handle had a whole bunch of injection molding reliefs inside of it, those would be places for goop and gum to get collected inside of there when you're scrubbing. But since it's one single monolithic part and piece, it can A, look really great because we added these textures to the outside, but also has nowhere for any of the germs and crap to go. So you end up with a much better system than if you were using another manufacturing method. And this is why it's so important to design for the process that you're using. If you're designing it for injection molding, there are certain rules, but if you're designing for printing, there is a different set of rules that also give you a different set of freedoms and capabilities. This is where I want to talk about something really important. Scrubdaddy could add these products tomorrow, and this has never been possible before. Inside of Teleport, we have a print service where you can plug into a Shopify store and then immediately upload an item and it's for sale. And if you get 1,000 orders tomorrow, it will be printed and shipped directly to your customer for you. Why is this important for Scrubdaddy? Well, Scrubdaddy doesn't know which product is going to sell well. Maybe people want a handle like this. Maybe they want the regular one. Maybe they want a standard holder, or maybe they want the one with the smiley face more. Who knows? I certainly don't. But here's the thing. Since it costs so little to get started, they do not have to find suppliers. They do not have to source molds. They do not have to store stuff in a warehouse and hope that it sells. Instead, they can just upload a 3D model, connect Teleport into their store, and then they can sell 1 tomorrow or 1,000 tomorrow. And if it only sells 1, they can eliminate that product and go focus on the one that is selling. They get so many advantages because now they're able to try out new products and iterate on new products for basically zero cost. But then even long term, people are like, oh yeah, great, 3D printing is great for testing, but it's no good in production. Again, we can make 10,000 of these things a day. That's pretty good production. And the cost is going to be comparable, if not less than injection molding. Here's why. With a mold, you have a low per part cost. That's great, but then you have to buy the mold. And by the way, for a part like this, it is unmoldable. You can't make something this thick and chunky. But getting aside from that, if it's part to part, you have the mold, which is included in the cost of the part. And then you also have to ship those parts over here, which is included in the cost of the part. And then you have to store those parts for a long period of time. You have to store 10,000 parts in a warehouse and hope that they sell out. You have to manage that box. You have to keep track of it. You need to do inventory tracking. Just having a pile of parts is very cumbersome. Whereas if you just upload a file and when somebody orders it, it is made. That is way more efficient so that you no longer have warehousing cost, you no longer have molding cost, you no longer have carrying costs because dead inventory is really useless. Not to mention the fact that for most consumer types of products, you end up with a 15 to 25% loss because the items are never sold. 3D printing lets you eliminate that right off the bat. Now, admittedly, 3D printing has never been there before. It hasn't been possible to mass produce 3D printed parts until recently. Again, we can knock out 10,000 of these things a day if we want to. But that now allows companies to pursue entirely different business models with physical objects that were never possible before. So now Scrubdaddy can knock out 20 different products in a weekend, test them out, and find out which ones customers want to buy, and then let it scale up. Or keep all of them around so that when the long tail customers, the few people who really want the bigger pink handle, are able to get a hold of it and they don't have all of those carrying costs where molding would be too expensive and too much effort. So there's just tremendous advantages to using mass production 3D printing over using traditional manufacturing methods because you're committed to an idea and it has to work on the first try there. Whereas with 3D printing, you can start off small, try a few things, and then as they work, it still scales with you and gives you all kinds of downstream supply benefits because you no longer have to deal with inventory, you're dealing with product. Have a great day, everybody.